East Coast company Tairāwhiti Pharmaceuticals and Natural Solutions are working with the Miere Coalition to help Maori become more active players in the Manuka honey industry. Manuka oil from the Tairāwhiti area has antimicrobial properties up to 30 times stronger than Australian tea tree oil. Mark Kerr explains.
We're a Manuka business, so pretty much everything we do revolves around Manuka. We started off focused on Manuka oil, and we've progressed out from there into Manuka honey and other Manuka extracts. The findings from the first analysis of Manuka oil produced out of this area, samples were made. They went down to the Cawthron Institute in Nelson, and they got the results back from them, and they didn't believe the results they got. So they retested them twice before they reported the results. They found that they had an oil which was 20, 30 times stronger than they'd ever seen from any other Manuka oil from around New Zealand. And depending on bacteria or fungi, 10, 20 times stronger than Australian tea tree oil. Our Manuka is all wild harvested at the moment out in the hills around the district from farms and stations, all Maori land, which is operated under trusts and incorporations. We have contract harvesters out there that trim the trees, pack the young brush into bales and bring it here into the factory. We also have some operators out there with excavators which have been modified for harvesting Manuka trees. The brush comes in here, we chop it up a bit more to pack it into the distillation tanks just so we can get more in there. It's essentially a simple steam distillation process. We pump steam into the plant material, heats it up, releases the oil as a vapour, and we draw that vapour off, we condense it and we separate the oil. We're processing around about 1,000 tonne a year, and we have between 23 to 30 people working pretty much all year round. The Manuka brush from this area is unique to New Zealand. This is something that we just chanced upon. We first found out it had very strong antibacterial, antifungal activity, and then we went looking to find out why from the chemistry of the oil. And we found out that that the Manuka from this area has a high level of a group of compounds which are only present either at very low levels or trace elements in Manuka and other places. Our markets are mainly overseas. When we began the business, we needed to find some markets to justify setting up, some markets of sufficient volume, and so we focused into the European markets right from the start. But we've found now more and more New Zealand companies are incorporating Manuka oil into their products as well. Victor's looking at how Māori can participate more actively within the Manuka industry. The primary focus has been Manuka honey. You have an area here that has, if I guesstimated, I'd say maybe 25,000 beehives that are brought into the area to collect the Manuka honey crop each year. Very, very few of those are run and operated by Māori. And there is no reason why, the local people shouldn't be keeping bees. And then there's additional parts to the industry in extraction, packing, marketing. And so if you look at, from oil and honey, what's produced in this region and the value of it that's retained here compared to the potential value if it was all to be done here by local people, it's, there's a great opportunity there for people locally.
Miere is the Māori name for honey. The Miere Coalition is we're phrasing it the Coalition of the Willing, but we were just looking at how we could get Māori to come together. So Māori landowners, Māori beekeepers, Māori honey retailers, and sort of coordinate some effort. So we started with a couple of agencies, a few agencies. Potama Trust is the principal one, Federation of Māori Authorities, and Tumu Pairo. So we started that in late 2012, and we agreed that we should work together and stop duplicating effort. I think most of us have a firm belief as Māori, especially living in rural communities like this, remember some of the good days when these communities were thriving, and a lot of those people drifted out of these communities and haven't come back. We have a significant Manuka resource in this area here, in particular on the east coast, but when you go around nationally, most of the Manuka grows on Maori freehold land, and a lot of those areas are socio-economically deprived. So we're trying to sort of look at the whole value chain for honey, believe it's an exciting industry to be in, and we're not active participants, we're passive by just receiving rentals and being landlords and collecting those rentals. So I think as Māori, if we come together, share information, I think we can go up the value chain and try and create some industry and employment that's desperately needed in these communities, utilising a resource that we've seen as negative. We've cut it down, it's kept on growing back, and now it's the most expensive honey in the world, and we're not part of that. And we have a long tradition with our Manuka right around the country, and we need to be part of this industry going forward, full stop.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.